conversation is going to be is an interesting one. I want to quickly share my live broadcast to my WhatsApp on YouTube. Let me see. Oh, so okay, guys, we are live again. Okay, guys, we are live again. Live on YouTube, live me app. So, good evening, everybody. Good evening from my own region, that is from the Nigerian region. I don't know your region, especially from the United States. Pacific time is noon for them. Is noon for them. So good afternoon to you. Good morning to you. Good evening to you from my own region. So today is another edition of the podcast show again, which we love doing and I love doing it. And we're going to be talking about something distinguish, something nobody seems to put an eye or focus in that area. Everyone thinks to be they're doing the right thing and they are not faulty and they're actually the best anyone could come across. Anyone would love to be with them or love to be around them. So the question is, before we start the podcast show. So, Heavenly Father, we thank you for your grace, we thank you for your mercy, we thank you for your protections. I will pray this section of the podcast is going to go well, and we're not only going to just be touching lives with just our mere words, but we're going to be sinking down to people with God's grace and pray that all of them that's going to be participating on this podcast, I will serve. Thank you so much. Please, I would like you to sub to my page. Thank you. Anyone that's going to be participating to what we're going to be talking about, I will pray you're going to be going back with some morals and learning from what is actually happening. Thank you so much for subbing, loading data dragon. Okay, I appreciate you for that. So today we're going to be talking about mm, emotional regulation, overreactions, and what it really costs. Love. Most people will actually skip this particular part phase in their relationship life, in their marriage life, but we tend to think that it is not something we can just overlook like that. It is something we need to sit down, talk about it, ponder about it, and know that, okay, are you actually doing things like this? That will make you lose your partner from one relationship to the next relationship and everything. So, we're still on it. Today, we're not talking about love as in the month of love, right? We're in the month of love, but today, we're not going to be talking about love. We're not talking about romance. We're not talking about what happened when your emotions take over you in relationship. No, we're not going to be talking about that. The more we're not going to be talking about that. We're not going to be talking about, all we're going to be talking about is that moment when you are angry, that moment when you feel ignored, the moment when jealousy, insecurity, pride kicks in, and then you react. So most people don't react. You don't react not calmly, not wisely, but emotionally. So many relationships don't end because of lack of love. And it's true. Some relationships don't end because of lack of love, actually. They end because of how people behave when they freak out of the particular things. And today we are asking a very uncomfortable question. How do you handle yourself when you are emotionally out of control in your relationship? And you might discover that probably in your relationship, it is not about your partner. It might not be all about you're good. It might not be all about you're so caring, you're so kind, you're this, you're sweet in the bed, you're romantic, you lovable person, you are adorable and everything. But it is how you show up when you are being triggered. These are some of the things some people will be like, she's cool, she's actually nice, she's actually okay. He's actually nice, he's actually okay, he's actually beautiful, he's actually lovable, but I don't really like the face of him when he's being triggered. So, So now we're going down to all those things, and we're just going to be touching about some certain important things. I'm going to be talking about three discussions of a different angles, and we're going to be touching the varieties of how we human beings presume and how we react to things. So if you're on my YouTube channel, thank you so much for joining. Please hit the subscribe button, and while we continue talking, and hit on the like button also too. Not just stop, and also participate in the comment section too, because it is all about how we emotionally and regulate and our overreactions and how it do cause us to love. So the first discussion we're going to be talking about is anger. Mm. Are you trying to fix it or you're trying to win it? Most people will be like, I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying my possible best to make it work out and make it fit in. You understand? Hello, Chica Jane. You're welcome to my YouTube channel. Please hit on the subscribe button and while you join us on the conversation. And most people will be like, I'm trying to fix it, not trying to win it. But how does it matter in how you fix it then? Are you fixing it in the right way, or does it seems like you're trying to win it, not rather you're not trying to fix it? Please hit on the subscribe button. For those on the live me end, if you want to join me on Live Me also from the YouTube channel, my ID number on Live Me is 1023755965. So those on Live Me, come hit on my subscribe button on my YouTube channel. And my YouTube channel is D underscore blunt reality. So let's continue. So I'm going to be talking about four different things on in the area of are you trying to fix it or you're trying to win it. So the first one we're going to be talking about is how people lose emotional control. How people lose it emotionally. How people lose it emotionally. Yeah, sometimes it is okay for us to react emotionally. It's okay for us to lose it at some point. Understand? Because it makes you a human being. It makes you be someone that has feelings, and it makes you be someone that really knows what you want, or at the point of time you've been confused about some certain situation. Yes, but most times how we react to things emotionally, we could think we have it under control, but definitely it might be we don't have it under control. It might be that we've adjusted that situation at that particular moment, and we might not presume it the way we sent out our information or pass out what we are having in our mind. It is the receiver of that particular information you're trying to pass out to is the one that's going to be carrying all the weight of your words to him or to herself too. And and the second one we're going to be talking about is shouting, silent treatment, insult, blocking, dramatic reactions. This one is extremely cool. I had to sit, I had to sit properly to talk about this one because a lot of us do that. That when we're triggered or we're angry, we tend to shout, we tend to raise our voice. But that's not good. We tend to raise our voice in our partner because we are trying to act like we are not to be controlled. We're trying to act that we are pained. Yes, it's actually right when you're pained, or when you, let me say, when you're pained and when you having something in you like you don't really want to understand. So shouting is actually not really good. Most people will be like, I have to take a deep breath and drink some water, and before I communicate properly with my partner or anything. It's actually cool too, that same way. And when you talk about the silent treatment, I see you, Chika James. Thank you for the subscribe. Thank you for hitting the subscribe. Hello, Nate. Welcome to my podcast show. And the silent treatment. And silent treatment, when you overdo it, is actually bad. Silent treatment could mean different angle. It could drive different reactions to your partners. it could heal your partner, it could make your partner or realize their mistakes. But when it's being overdone, like you overdo it, when you're talking about overdoing something, is maybe you carried it for as long as, instead of you to take a silent treatment for maybe few hours or one day, and you overdo it and you extended it to 1 week or anything, it shows that you actually have this thing in you of keeping to yourself and not trying to communicate things out. So that's a part of the things we're going to be talking about again. And insults and blocking. I think most men and women are actually good in that particular end. Insulting your partner when you're emotionally triggered, and which is not good. You understand? You know, when you're angry, you can overreact and say things that you're not meant to say. And nobody is perfect. In our imperfection, we need to be cautious of what we give out to our partners, you understand? Because you might be saying it and later on you apologize to it. The apology might not heal the way you think it should heal, the way the words are going. It might not heal that same way. It might even cause a whole lot of damage to that person's thinking, to that person's mind. It takes the grace of God for that person that is the receiver or your partner to not to overthink that particular issues or that particular words which you say, and blocking your partner. Most people will be like, oh, I have a misunderstanding with my partner. I don't want to be triggered to call. I don't want to be triggered to be the first person to visit it. You should go to hell. You should go to hell and then move. You block. Bam. It is not good. Sometimes you learn how to control your emotions and your feelings. You learn how to take a deep breath, even if it's very hard for you not to pick up your phone to call the person, but you need to control yourself. Learning how to control yourself is actually not like overwhelming. It is something that you're trying to fix yourself about. It is something you're trying to get to control. You're fixing yourself. And believe me, when you overcome all these things, I bet you're going to be having a very lovable relationship, and you learn how to communicate at the same time. And dramatic reactions. Let's go to this dramatic reaction, because a lot of people will be like, I'm being dramatic. I need to make my partner see what how am I been expressing myself and everything. And we tend to overdo it. And this dramatic reaction is always in the lady's side. You can see partially from the men's side, because men are actually built to suck up things in their mind and hold pains and everything. When a man actually reacts and become dramatic, it tends to be like he has actually been seeing you doing that thing, and you'll be going scot free from him. He has not been reacting to it. And when he reacts, you know that it is beyond his control and he's trying to tell you something. But we women, our insecurity, our jealousy can make us react over dramatic. Yes, that it's natural for us to be dramatic, but we need to caution about it. It's the way we become dramatic, like in a feminine way, and we tend to pass that information very, very good. But we are dramatic. But when we overdo it, mm, it's actually cause harm, more harm, and to make you lose an excessive part, an excessive um, percentage of your love rate between you and your partner. So we've talked about that one, and then the next one we're going to be doing on the third aspect is ego during arguments. Most people have ego, right? Even especially the male. Let me say to the male, to the male people, to our genders, the male genders, they have ego, and it's pride. You find it so difficult to let go of your pride, because you're trying to win a conversation. You're trying to find it so difficult to, even as a woman, to let go, to accept your mistake because of your pride and your ego, to win the conversation, to win the argument. You're trying to make it feel like, yes, you're still the man in charge, you have the power. But no, you're actually destroying some part of your relationship, which you don't know the damage you're causing to your partner. You're making your partner feel small in while you're in a relationship with them, and which is not really good. It's really really not good for you to make it when you have this ego in you to say. Most people, it's so difficult for them to acknowledge their mistakes and say I am sorry. It's so difficult for them to say I am sorry, I know I am wrong, I know I did this, I don't know the reason I did this, but I did this, but I am really sorry about it. I did not mean to make it cause you harm. Most times we react to something not in the intention of causing pain to our partners, but we react to that because of we could not control our emotions. We're trying to air our opinions. We're trying to make ourselves being heard by our partner. But then when we allow that ego in us not to say you're sorry about it, not to be in that aspect of being in a defensive mode in your relationship, it actually causes a whole lot of harm there. That is where the harmful part of it is. Some men and some women out there should learn and to control how to say sorry, how to be accountable of their mistakes whenever they default in some aspect in hurting their partner. So we're going to talk about the fourth one is trying to win instead of solving it. This aspect of trying to win is in the aspect of your partner is saying, you actually did this, you actually do this, you actually do this. But some people do this thing unknowing to them. You're trying to win. It might not be you're trying to win the conversation, but excuses. You constantly giving excuses to your mistakes. You constantly giving excuses to your lapses. You constantly are defending your lapses, and in the sense that making your partner feel he or she as the fault, but rather it is you not being accountable of what you're supposed to be held of. And you end up gaslighting everyone. And that's most people go into that stage unknowing to them. When you're this type of person that when you do something wrong, they try to tell you, yes, you did this thing wrong and everything, but you want to still prove yourself. You want to still say, oh, I actually did this because of a reason. Try to defend yourself at every given point of time, which is bad. There's something that when your partner say you actually did this and you take a deep breath, I was like, do not defend it. Solving it is being accountable. Accountability. Just say, okay, I did this. I'm sorry, and let your sorry match with your actions again. That is another thing. When you say you're sorry, match it with your action, match it with your facial expression. Most people be like, I'm sorry. You understand? Really, I'm sorry. That's not really sorry. You're just saying that because, okay, fine, let there be peace. That's another reaction. And when you say, I'm sorry, I really don't mean to harm you. Like, I don't really need to cause you that pain. I don't really, you understand? Some words could be soothing, some words could calm and a high flamed person or a conversation that is being heated, it could cool it down and it could make there peace in that particular scenario or that particular situation you two are coming across. So the question we're going to be asking today, and still on the podcast show, to those in the live me, I really love and enjoy your participation. To me, a shout out to you, and a shout out to those that stop by on the YouTube channel. Please share the live, drop your like button, click on the like button, and click on the subscribe page as well. I really appreciate your subscription to my channel and your subscription also to my live me page. It is also important too at the same time. So the question we're going to be asking after this whole conversation we've had is, when you are angry in a relationship, do you try to solve the problem or do you try to win the argument? So, and I'm going to be saying this, most people think they are trying to solve the problem, or just trying to solve the issue, but in reality, they are trying to win. You can tell by these following things. When you see somebody is not trying to solve the problem, but the person is trying to win. One, when the person is raising his voice above your own voice, that you are trying to lament or you're trying to complain, what this person is doing is actually wrong. But this person is trying to raise their voice above yours. They're not trying to solve the problem. Two, when the person keeps bringing up a past mistake, you two are in a relationship, a done deal of a mistake which your partner has apologized to, it is meant to be forgiven and put behind your relationship, or put behind as the past things. It's not meant for you to keep bringing it up and up and up at every given misunderstanding you guys have, and then you feel the need to raise that particular thing up again. That is something that is not good. You're not trying to make peace. You're not trying to make your partner feel comfortable around you. You're trying to make he or she feel that they are less of themselves, and every issues in the relationship is all about is coming from your own end, not even from their own end too. Not even from their own end too. So these are two I've mentioned. One, raising your voice. I mentioned the second one, bringing your past mistake. The third one again is waiting for the last words. We're always used to this thing. We're having misunderstanding with people because we're not perfect. We're imperfect people coming together to fit in. So definitely there's bound for mistakes, there's bound for misunderstanding. And what happened is how you fix it, how you two come in good agreement and come in good terms to try to solve it. Not you and the one end waiting for the last word. And most of us are always waiting for the last word. It's over between us. And most of us are used to saying this last word. I can't do this anymore. I need to walk away. So walking away could be the last word for you, waiting to hear that, okay, yes, she's going to walk away, it's going to walk away. And yes, she's going to say that I can't do this again. Let's divorce. Let's separate. Let's give each other space. If you're constantly waiting for the last word by your partner, you're not trying to solve it. You are trying to walk away from it, and you're trying to win it. Because if you mean to solve a particular issue with your partner, you will give all your best in it. Try to make things work out between you two. And it's not just going to be coming from just one person alone. The both partners has to bring come together to try to fix this. It's not just one person. So we're still on our conversation, emotional regulation, overreaction, and what it really costs in relationship and also in marriage. To those that joined us on the live me channel, please do well to share the live, drop some star points for us, hit the flame up, and make people come. You don't know, maybe one of the two things we're going to be discussing have some great impact, going to be impacting something in someone's life. To those on the YouTube channel, do well to share the live, share to your friends, share to your brothers, share to anybody that you need to share to, and also click on the subscribe button. So we're going to be going to trying to prove your partner too. And the thing there is the fourth word is trying to prove your partner is wrong instead of trying to understand them at that particular moment. A lot of us want to try to prove that your partner is wrong. I have gone down that particular scenario before in my past relationship. I try to prove that my partner is wrong, in the sense like trying to make him see that these things he was thinking that I'm actually involving myself in is not actually the way it looks. I'm trying to prove the point by some actions, like, but I failed in one aspect to understand him at that particular point. You get the part of me now, right? I failed to understand him. I failed in the aspect of, okay, is this what you actually meant? Okay, I feel you understand. So it is okay for you to fail in some aspects, but it is not okay for you to just go down that way and you stay down that way. And when you realize yourself, you still have this ego in you, not to come out clean to say, okay, I actually realize myself. You understand? So trying to prove your partner is wrong in a sense. You might do it right, but you might not get it right. He might still want you to, or he or she might still want you to understand them, be in their level, to understand what they are trying to point out to you, how they're trying to make you see that particular thing they're complaining or they are lamenting on. So, this is it. When you are focused on winning the problem, never get to solve it. The argument just becomes battle of ego. You understand? The two of you are just going to be on the battle of ego. Nobody wants to solve anything. You just want to keep arguing about the situation, holding towards it about the situation and what is happening, how it's affecting you, what's there. You try to make it look like it is all about you. You are the main victim. You understand? You try to manipulate it. That is where manipulation and ego comes in. And it's really very harmful to relationship and marriage. It's extremely it's toxic, actually. So when you want to solve this kind of situation, what we talk about now is listening even when you are upset. For the both genders, male and female, you need to listen to your partner even when you're upset. It is okay when you're upset with your partner and they want to continue a conversation like this and they will trigger you to say something. You can off the call. You can cut the call and make the person realize himself or calm down or anything. Let the person be relaxed and then you can continue the conversation. And then staying on the current issue. Do not deviate from that current issue. Because a lot of us do that, both male and female. We're having these particular issues now. We need to solve this particular issue. And then you keep bringing up the previous issues we have. Then how are we going to solve this current issue? Does it mean that when you two say, I am sorry to each other in the past issue, it is no longer the past? That it is going to keep reoccurring and reoccurring and reoccurring or surfacing in every slight next issues you guys are going to be having. So, solving this when you two are having a particular issue, at that moment, stay on that current issue. Do not deviate from that current issue. Do not bring up the past issue because when you bring up a past issue to the present issue, you complicate things. You complicate things, and that is another problem we all always having. It's okay for you to snap out, but please, you have to be conscious of all this particular thing. And the third one is wanting peace more than pride. You know the thing when we used to say, I want peace, I want peace. I want peace, I want peace, I want peace. But you need to check yourself too. Are you actually a peaceful person your partner could stay with? Are you actually a peaceful person? Do you actually give out what you say you want on the same level you wish to receive that peace? You actually give out the peace the same level you want the peace to be given to you? Or are you actually giving indirectly toxicity? You are actually toxic and then you are demanding peace. Even as a woman too, and as a man too. Most of us we say we want peace, but we can't give that peace we say we want. And then we're expecting our partner to manipulate or magicians to give you that peace when you're giving them trouble, when you're being toxic to them. Then how do you expect them to give you the peace that you deserve or the peace you've been looking and you'll be wanting, you've been wishing, you've been dying to have? So that is something else. And winning an argument can make you feel powerful at that moment, but it slowly makes your partner feel small in the relationship. So That is for the first discussion we're having. We're still on the podcast show. I am still Daniela by name. And on my YouTube channel, I am still D underscore blunt reality. Go to my YouTube channel, click on and subscribe on my channel. So you could stay tuned to see an updated post from me and to see catch me when I'm live and have a section of interaction section with me. Or if you still want a one-on-one section with me as consultation. I am also open for consultation. I'm also open to encourage you or give you the little knowledge I have about some certain things about relationship, educational, business types, or anything. But remember, I am always going to be blunt to you. When you're wrong, you're wrong. I will tell you you're wrong. When you're right, you're right. I will tell you you're right. When you're slightly, partially wrong and right, I will still tell you to your face, this is what you do. So if you're ready for that kind of thing, because most people will want themselves to be, you not expect me to support you 100% when you're wrong because I am trying to make you my client or anything. So, but that's not for the case. So let's go for the second one. The second discussion we're having still on emotional reactions over emotional regulations over reactions of things people do when they are in a relationship and how people freak out often when they're in a relationship. So we're going to the second part of it is jealousy, insecurity, and emotional reactions. I know a lot of us will not want us to touch about this, but yes, we're going to touch it. Understand? We're going to touch it. When we talk about jealousy, it's okay for you to be jealous over your partner, yes, but when you overdo it, you're obsessed. So many people will be like, when you are over jealous about your partner, it means obsession. Yeah, you could say it that way. But when you overdo it, you understand, not giving your partner this breathing space, you're too jealous, nobody should talk to your partner, he or she is just for you alone and everything. It's extreme. It is extreme too. Because maybe your partner is somebody that is socialized and the person is an outspoken person, a public speaker. How do you tend to deal with people coming over the person or people coming around the person or anything? So sometimes we get to be jealous about it. It's okay because sometimes when you don't get jealous, they feel like you don't love them, nothing about you concerns them, they have their own private life to live and everything. But it's nothing like that. But please do not overreact when you're jealous. Do not overreact. Try as much as possible to communicate with your partner. And then we go to insecurity. Most people will say like insecurity is tagged with a little way of the jealousy. I see you did a lot drama. Thank you for joining the podcast. And you understand. Most people will be like insecurity. Yes, it is okay. Insecurity could be found in most times in a high rate in men, a higher rate too in women too, both genders. I don't know the rate level of which I should give insecurity to both genders. Could it be on the same level or one is higher than the other ones? So, but in your stance of being insecure, please, you need to curtail yourself. You need to be cautious of yourself. You need to know, are you actually being insecure about not feeling the way that somebody is going to take your partner away from you? Or are you being insecure that you've actually been a player, or you a girl, a woman, you've been a player, you've been a game player, or you've been a cheat, and maybe your partner is trying to play some tricks on you and you be like, oh, I've actually seen that trick. Maybe somebody's going to take my partner from me, or somebody is going to, no. So sometimes we really react to all those kind of things and feeling ignored. This is something most men and women we react to when we feel ignored, when we feel not seen. You understand? As a man or as a woman, when you fail to realize or fail to involve your partner in every aspect of your life and everything, when you talk about relationship, it is not a singular word again. It is not like a singular word. I am with a relationship now. It is we, you together. When you're married, you use the word we. You don't single-handedly, when you want to do anything, you put it on I alone. That means you totally ignoring your partner or anything. So that alone can trigger some people's emotions, and you can see the person flame up at one big given time. You're totally cutting me out of everything that involves you. Why? Why are you ignoring me? Why are you distancing me? Why are you gaslighting me? And then when the person tries to flame up, instead of you to sit down and understand the angle the person is trying to go, you're trying to argue with the person, you're trying to prove points, excuse me, that you're not doing that. But little do you know that your actions were saying or were moving towards that direction that lead to the person's reactions towards it. So, well, going to the next one is passive aggressive behavior. I have a lot of women out there that when they're angry, they try to smash a whole lot of things. Please, why are you smashing things? Like you try to want to involve in a physical fight. You're being too aggressive. These are the things we really don't really know that these are the little things a man or a woman can work out from you, from your life. Even if you're beautiful, even if you're handsome, even if you're smart, even if you're intelligent, even if you're rich and everything, there are some behaviors when you get triggered. A man will say, I would like to see my woman when she's triggered, to see her reaction, if I can handle her. Whenever, maybe when we say I do to each other, a woman will be like, I like to see my partner's reaction when he's triggered, to see if it's something I could be compatible with. And eventually, when the person cut out of you, you start asking yourself, you start feeling like, oh, I am actually very good. I'm actually very kind. I'm the sweetest person. Then what is happening? Why did everybody keeps leaving? You need to curtail on how you react to things when you get triggered. Because most times the way you react to things when you get triggered can make you lose a very good person within you. So these are what I'm trying to talk about. Passive aggressive behaviors. And another one is testing your partner instead of communicating. Yeah, we're going to be talking about this one too. When you're testing your partner, please, it's okay for you to test your partner's loyalty. It's okay for you to test your partner's love for you, but it's partially wrong. Communicate properly. Is your partner doing something? You could ask questions. You know, I still feel that maybe in this new generation, we get so scared to ask some sensitive questions, some most important questions. When somebody is approaching you as a man and a woman or anything, you're trying to go down to a relationship, you need to ask the person, how do you react to things when you are being triggered? When I get you angry, how do you react to it? Communicate with me. Let me know. You have to hear that person speak first. And instead that when the person tells you that, okay, when I react, when you get me angry, I'm going to you for weeks. And is it something you can handle? Man, if not something you can handle, you need to work out. You need to just tell the person, okay, please, let's keep it on the friendship zone. I can't with all these your reactions. You need to ask sensitive questions. How do you love? What is your ideal? What's the plans? What's your future? How you need to even know the person's relationship with the siblings and the parents, how they also interact with them too, because these are things we need to look out for. Not being in the loving doveship of, oh, I love him, I can't do without him, and you skip the most sensitive part. And then when you start seeing that person display it takes you unaware. And then when you can't handle it, you leave. When you can't handle it, you keep hurting yourself within yourself, you keep dying in silence. But when these things are properly communicated at the early stage of your relationship, so along the line, if it comes in place, or if it occurs, you know that okay, yeah, he or she has actually communicated this kind of issues with me. Actually know this part of this person and everything. So am I ready? Am I willingly to go down the way even with their reactions? There is nothing like perfect relationship or perfect marriage. It is two imperfect people trying to be perfect, trying to make their home worth staying, trying to fight for each other, never giving up on each other. So, so, and communication, not testing your partner. You need to communicate with your partner. I see you SLLTT tone. You need to communicate with your partner. When your partner does something that triggers you, do not keep it inside of you. And how do you communicate also matters. How you communicate to your partner that will make them understand you also matters. Because if you're trying to communicate and you're communicating in a high tone, you are not communicating, you're trying to win over the person. A proper communication could go down with a lower tone, making your partner see and understand you, not using a high tone in the sense of you communicating with the person. So that is another thing again. And the next one is emotion reactions that push your partners away. The emotional reactions to things. Do you take a deep breath when you're being triggered, or you just react immediately? And then when you react, you end up going to the regret level or the regret stage. Oh, I regret my actions. How many more times are you going to be telling your partner, I regret my actions? How many more times? You need to curtail how you talk. You need to curtail how you react. Because most men could not stand all those things. Most men can't stand it because they have their own pains within them. They have the things they suck into within themselves that they can't let out. And then when you're being in their life and you overreact to things easily occurring, I want to understand. Okay, you're welcome to join the podcast show Titi Told. I'm having my podcast show and I'm talking about emotional react regulations, overreactions, and which has caused so many marriages and relationships so far. That is the theme we're talking about. So, and now we go down to the question. So today is, what is your usual reactions when you feel jealous, ignored, or insecure in a relationship? We need to ask ourselves this question personally within ourselves. What are my reactions when I feel jealous? What are my reactions when I feel insecure? What are my reactions when I feel ignored in a relationship, in my marriage? How do I react to it? You need to sit down and ask yourself some questions. Then you realize yourself that maybe you've been overreacting to some certain things, and maybe you are actually your partner is not the type of person that wants to listen to you, that's not on the listenable stage when you want to try to communicate how you feel. And I would say people don't communicate insecurity. You know that most men and women, they don't communicate insecurity, it's their actions. Their actions will make you feel like, oh, is you actually like, they react with attitude. They react with giving you a silent treatment. And then when you now push hard, especially to women, when you now push hard, they will like they have to say it out. What are you doing with that girl? I see the way the girl is looking at you. I see the way you're paying attention to her. No, 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 that is insecurity. What you have to do is just bring her close, peck her on the forehead, and be like, "Calm down, babe. I have nothing with this person." It heals. But not you flaming up at the same time with her. Come on, you're always in your feelings every now and then, telling me I'm not doing not. You're not communicating with her properly. That issue will not be resolved. But when your man is insecure with you or having this insecurity, he was gaslighting on you, or maybe he's just saying like he ignored you for some certain time or some certain hours. And then when you come close or you try to show him that love, then he flame. He'll just tell you, what were you doing with that guy? I see the way the guy was all over you, this, that. What do you have to do as a woman? You don't need to start proving your point and telling him, come on, come out of your feeling. I have nothing with that person. I'm this, or you want to raise voice in a matching voice with him. You're not going to win that. You're not going to solve that issue. All you have to do is just, okay, okay, I see, I understand. If you're close to him, give him a peck and tell him, okay, fine, I'm sorry. Maybe my actions towards the person tells you that there's something else going on. In a cool voice, no, I have nothing going on with this person. It's just me reacting, or it's just me having an intense conversation with this person. And the conversation is the one that leads to some physical actions you're seeing, but it tells you you're not being insecure. Yes, I understand you. You understand? You win through some kind of conversation like this. And then you will see him, you will just feel relaxed. Or you could praise him, or like, oh, my baby, my sweetheart. How can you see such a thing? Like, I have nothing. You understand? There's so many ways we could go about it, not matching a raising voice with our partner when they're trying to tell us you are actually doing things in the wrong way. I feel insecure of you going down this road. I feel this way of you going down. If you're enjoying our podcast show, please hit on the like button, drop your star points on us, and also, you can also feel free to support me on the podcast, and let's keep the flame going as we continue to enjoy. And you could communicate too. We can also have this interaction session in the comment section if you have any one or two things to say. And I see you all on my YouTube channel. Please, on my live me channel, you could hit my subscribe button on my YouTube channel, which is D_Dan D_, blunt reality. Thank you so much, the Lord Jama. Lord John, thank you for the support. So we've talked about that. Instead of saying I feel left out, I need, understand, insecurity can make the person feel like they need a reassurance that they still have that control in your life, and they still have that space in your life. In your heart, they still have that self thing that yes, he still have me in his heart. She still have me in her heart. So most people become cold. You want to understand, let me explain things about insecurity, how men and women tends to react when they are insecure. They become cold, they start acting distance from you, and they post things to get attention. Some men and women, they'll go to social media to post things that is related to what you're doing there, and they'll post it on the social media handle where you are going to see it. So it only takes somebody that is down or anything for you to understand that, okay, is she actually posting this particular thing for me to see, or is there something else I do wrong? Because I remember my last relationship where like my partner keeps posting about their zodiac signs and everything. I'll be like, why does this guy keep posting about zodiac signs? Is it that I'm not understanding his zodiac sign, or I don't understand some particular thing about it? And then I came clean. I asked him, come on, come clean and tell me, talk to me, let me know. You always keep posting about your zodiac sign. Is there something I'm missing out in on my actions? And he grumbled a little bit. It was kind of grumbling. Thank you, Nate, for joining me. I was grumbling a little bit, and then later on, he came out clean. I was like, yes, you understand? Our zodiac sign, we're actually reacting to this. We actually love to be treated this way. I was like, you would have just communicated to me. Tell me, I'm not doing things in the right way. I'm doing it in a wrong perspective, and then I'll fix it. I will try to amend some certain things. Understand? So these are things people react to when they are insecure, actually, and most times they will accuse you of something you never did wrong. You never did. You understand? That is insecurity. So when you see your partner react to these ways, they become cold. They start acting distance. They post things to get your attention. They accuse you of something you never do, and they start unnecessary fights. You know that definitely they are reacting to insecurity, and then you have to push them closer to you and have a deep intense conversation with them and ask them, is there something you've done wrong? Is there a way your actions have made them feel insecure? You don't react at the same time they are reacting. You don't match voice with them at the same time they're trying to complain or they're trying to lament on the same thing. Because if you do that matching voice at the same time and you two hit on an argument, the issue is not going to be solved. It's just going to keep piling up and up, and it's going to even take you or you two to have that misunderstanding for days. Day return to days, and days return to weeks, and weeks return to months, and then you see the you two fall out of love, and you two just end up leaving each other. So that's another thing again. And jealousy and insecurity are actually a request for reassurance. And when your partner keeps receiving attack instead of communicating, you need to confront them. You need to start confronting them and having this conversation with them. Emotional maturity is being able to say what you feel without turning it into drama. Understand? So you need to start like having this conversation with them. Thank you so much, Gigi Lord Drama. You need to comfort them, have this communication, this one on one. You could use music therapy. You could just play some music and tell them, okay, please come clean. Tell me what I did wrong. I understand. I notice you've been distant from me. I notice you've been cold at me. I notice the way we communicate is not the way we're communicating now. What what am I missing out? What is wrong? What is actually going on? Can we fix it? Is another good word for you to use. Thank you so much, Cherry, for joining the podcast. Feel free to hit on the like button, share, and also drop some star point. If you still continue, and we're going to the third conversation and the third discussion based on emotional regulation, overreactions, and the way we react when we are triggered in relationship. And the last one is the damage done in the heated moment. The damage done in the heated moment, can that damage be recovered, or can it be fixed, or is it lost gone already? So this is something we're going to be talking about again. And you know it that when you're angry, your words, your choice of words really matters. Words said in anger pierce so deeply to the heart that even the receiver, so many times you will say, I am sorry, I don't mean to say that word. But that word you said and you let it out in anger pierce deeply more than the actual thing you did wrong. And some ladies are actually good in this aspect. Some ladies can trigger you, push you to the core for you to say that hurtful word to them. And believe me, when you say that hurtful word to them, they won't even care about the particular thing you did wrong. Is that word you said to them, that is what they are going to be so clinging to. They will cling to that word and hold it so dearly. You said something like this to me because you don't know they pushed you, actually force you to go to that level, to go to that area, to go to that stage. And if you don't know how to control yourself and you fall into it, man, you have to keep saying sorry about it. You need to prove that you actually did that out of mistake. That is another thing again. And regret after the moment, after emotion cool down. When you say words out of anger and then you regret your actions, when your emotions are already cooled down, your emotions are cooled down, then you start regretting your action. Why then did you give in to that actions? That's what most people will say. If you meet some relationship or marriages that have been for years and they've stayed 50 years and everything, you see, I used to pay attention. I kind of buy this idea of when in a heated moment you just walk away silently without saying anything. It's not like you are ignoring your partner. There are two different ways. There are some people that will walk away silently and they will totally ignore you. They're not going to come back to that conversation again. Yes. But when you walk away silently, give your partner that time to cool down. When they cool down, instead of you reacting, instead of you saying those hurtful words to them, You just allow them to cool down, and then you come back to that conversation. That particular current situation, do not add the previous ones that has happened over the past years or the past month. That current situation at that particular, that current issue, just stay on that current issue and try to fix it. So that is about regret after emotions go down. Pride that stops apology. And most men and women, a woman now can be so boastful and ego. I see that most people find it difficult to even say I'm sorry about a particular thing or be accountable at that particular moment. And that pride will stop the pride of her saying, okay, I'm sorry about it. It can stop that apology from coming out, and which is not good. And the pride as a man too of being the head. Wow, my partner needs to see that I am the head, I am the man. She needs to respect. You said run away. Run away. No, you don't need to run away. That's aspect where you being so pride and boastful, your ego and everything. Hmm. No, that's not good. That is really not good. That is going to show you that your partner is this type that shifts blame. He or she will like to manipulate and shift the blame on you and make it feel that you have the fault. And the person is the kind of person that run away from accountability, that run away from situations. And what do you do when you see such early stage of red flag and you know fit to yourself that you cannot stand it? Why not you just quietly communicate and walk away? But you said within yourself you can handle it, you can handle it, you can suck it in, you can deal with it. And then when you keep reoccurring and reoccurring and reoccurring and reoccurring, and then it gets to the stage that the 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 wounds are bigger than what you imagine or what you have expected over the years. And then you tend to say your partner really hurts you and you walk away. But either you saw all those red flags, but you ignored and you suck it in. So this is another thing again. And all we're talking about emotional maturity versus love. Emotional maturity. How do you react to things? How do you communicate with your partner? Are you trying to be this kind of person that I want my partner to tell me everything that happens, everything he or she occurs, everything that happens to them in their daily activities? Are you matured enough to suck in some certain things when the partner being open to you? That is something else. Were you the type that when they start saying something to you, or you guys are communicating on a friendship zone or a very good vibe, and your partner be like, okay, woman be like, oh baby, somebody offered to pay my bill, somebody offered to give me a lift, the guy is cute, the guy was handsome, but then I don't give a fuck about him, but you're my person, and then you flame up. What would the person do? It's because you dress this way. It's because you open yourself. Some men can be that way, and some women can be that way too. And the woman will just snap out and be like, everybody just wants you. Sometimes we could be like that, but the main thing there is, thank you, Nate, for coming by again. The most thing there is for you to understand your partner. Know when they try to react that way, and when they're reacting that way, and how you see things, how you want to draw them closer to you. I tell them, okay, okay, love, I understand your reaction. Okay, I understand. Oh, the girl cannot get to you. I know that because emotional maturity really matters. If you're mature to take in some certain conversation which you demanded for, if you're matured enough to take in some conversation you demanded for it, and he or she opened up themselves and give you that information, and then you flame up, then why you asking for your partner to be open to you when you are not emotionally matured to control it? You understand? It's major, right? When you're not emotionally mature to handle it, if you're not emotionally mature to handle things, so don't you ever tell your partner, okay, please, I would like you to tell me about your past. You know, most people used to say it. I want you to tell me about your past, your experience, how everything is. I need to know everything about. Can you handle it? That is another thing you ask yourself. Can you handle it emotionally? Are you not going to be seeing that person in a different view, the way you were seeing the person previously? Are you emotionally matured enough to handle the past and work on it and not treat the person the way he or she explained the past about and everything? So is it both male and female? To me, my own self, I used to tell people that, see, I don't really care about your past. You know why? I don't want you to tell me about your past. You don't know why? Because I don't think I am emotionally matured to handle your past. But I am emotionally matured to handle the present as it is. As it is be presented to me. Yeah, I'm emotionally matured to handle your present. But when you tell me about your past, I don't think I'm emotionally matured for it. But the person might feel like, okay, you don't want to know anything about them. No, rather, because I'm trying to set something that I don't want to think about. I don't want to start matching every misunderstanding we have with your past experience because I am this kind of person. There's some people like that too. When you have an issue, more my head is going to go back to your past. And maybe I'll start thinking about it. That's the way you react, that's how it's going to go down, and I'll start having this comparison in my head. So this is me letting it out to my partner. I'm not emotionally mature to handle your past. Please don't tell me about your past. Let's just focus on the present. You understand? So if you are this kind of person, feel free to communicate with your partner, not even allowing them to keep telling you about their past, trying to be in the sense that yes, it is okay for you want to open up to me. But me, I am not ready for that. I am not matured enough to handle that. But not mean that I'm withstanding, I can handle every other aspect that we face along our relationship. But that aspect is your past. You experience it. What I want to see is a better version of you in your present. That is what I want to see. Welcome to 1 Trillion Tribuna to the podcast show. I switched the podcast show to the single life. You understand? These are things we need to talk about. These are things we need to open up, communicate with our partners, our spouse, in our relationship, in our friendship. You understand? And most of my female friends wants to tell me about their past experience, and I'll tell them, please don't tell me about your past experience. I don't really want to hear about it. What I want to know is how you fixed yourself, how you've been a better person, your current actions. Is it speaking that you have actually improved yourself? You actually worked on yourself. So we're going to go into the question as, have you ever damaged a relationship because of how you reacted in the heat of the moment? Have you ever damaged a relationship that's meant to be fixed, that is not meant to go down the way it is, or not meant to, you guys are not meant to separate or go far from each other or call it off because of the way you reacted at the heat moment? It's okay for you to admit, yes, I have done that, but would you still continue allowing it to occur again? Understand? So we sometimes we women will be like, we are calm, we are good, we are. It took me time to work on myself. It took me when you was young, did the job. Okay, I did that. It took me time. It took me years to realize that yes, it is not all about my partners. It's about me because I was overreacting to some certain things. And neither did I know that that thing was what was driving people away from me. I never knew. I still see myself, I am calm, I'm beautiful, I am good, I am this. But when I realized it, I had to work on myself. I'm telling you, I am great worker now. Low, I'll go for exactly now. I am a great listener. I become a very great listener right now. I will listen to whatever you want to say. I will snap out. I will block you. I will not tend to match words with you. anything, or try to prove, or try to defend, or trying to give excuses for my actions. No, I'll just come out clean and tell you, okay, let's do this, let's fix it. And I see it moving smoothly. I see it like the experience, the joy, everything is good. So we need to fix ourselves in that aspect. And the answer to it is this is when so many people have regrets. Honestly, in this area is when people have regrets. In this area, most people have regrets in it. Things like saying hurtful words you can't take back, blocking your partners, embarrassing them publicly, which you never intend to do. Sometimes these our reactions might not want to hurt our partner, but with the way we put the energy and how we tend to dish it out, we end up hurting your partner. And what you're trying to communicate about will not be seen that same way. It will be seen as and labeled as toxicity. It will be labeled that you're toxic. But meanwhile, you're trying to communicate your feelings, but in the wrong way, refusing to apologize because of pride. One emotional outburst can change how your partner sees you forever. It's like a broken drinking glass. Exactly. It's like a broken glass that can never, when a glass cup is broken, you can't fix it back. Even if you want to fix that glasses, those cracks are still gonna be on the glass. It will never come back how smooth the glass is supposed to be looking. So one emotional outburst can change can change how your partner sees you forever. Even okay, DJ Drama said, even if you fix it, you can't drink from it again. Exactly. You can't drink from that cup again because you'll be scared if the cup is not gonna hurt you or cut your lips or give you a tear again in your lips. You will have to be extremely conscious with that glass. Maybe most people will say, okay, why being extremely cautious with the glass? You might want to handle the glass with care and caution so that it doesn't smash again, so that it doesn't have more cracks. But definitely, a glass will remind you of what has happened previously. I have an old woman. When I go to this woman's house, I always see this broken mirror. When I asked her, I learned from her. When I asked her, Ma, why do you always have this broken mirror? Because I was coaching the children in an area of some subjects. And she told me that broken mirror is teaching me how to control my anger and how to handle some situations. I'd be like, wow. She said she can't fix things, but when she sees that broken mirror, she trying to know how to handle it, not know how to control herself. I was like, okay, so many people see things in different ways. Understand it? So many people see things. So many people will want to change that mirror to a new mirror, but no, she keep looking at that mirror every day. A lot of people want to change it, changing it in the aspect of you walking away. We are looking at it in this way. You walking away based on what we're talking about. If you change a broken mirror, you're walking away from it. You are getting a brand new. You're going to somebody else's life. You're trying to learn new person again. But when you have that broken mirror with you and you try to see that okay, the reason for this crack, and then you curtail yourself and you try to control yourself, try to know the value of that particular mirror you got to yourself. You now value it. You're not being extremely careful and conscious. That is what fix marriages. That is what make a man and a woman stay longer in a relationship or a marriage. So that is it for Daniela's podcast show today. And okay, and because after the anger is gone, what remains is how unsafe you have made loving a broken person's spouse. Okay, because after the anger is gone, what remains is how unsafe you made them feel in that moment. Love is not all about the sweet moment, the sweet words, the I love you, you look beautiful, or this. It is about how safe your partner feels when you are upset. And sometimes people don't leave because they stop loving you. They leave because they are tired of walking an eggshell around your emotions. So, closing it, even if they can grow from an unbroken heart. Yeah, you're right. You're right, DJ Love Drama. Loving a person past, even if they can grow from their unbroken heart. You're actually right. So we're closing from what we did today. Sometimes is the biggest threat to a relationship is not the third party. You know, most people feel the third party is always the biggest threat to my relationship. No, it is not the third party. It is how you behave when your emotions take over you. It is how you behave, how you react when you're being triggered. Your partner is not only experiencing your love for them, they are also experiencing your emotional control. We women and men, male and female, need to understand this. They are not just experiencing your sacrifice, they're not just experiencing your love, they're not just experiencing your care, your kindness, they're also experiencing your emotional control too. And that is what determines whether love feels safe or love is exhausting. So, we're coming to the end of our podcast show, which today you catch us again live again on Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Nigerian time. I still remain your humble girl, Daniela. And to those that are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please go to YouTube and search for D, whether you use a capital letter D or a small letter D, and underscore. If you know the symbol of underscore, D_, blunt reality, because we're live here on YouTube and we're also live on Live Me channel. So those of you that are my friends on Live Me channel and you're my friend on my subscribe page on YouTube, if you want to join me on Live Me and see my face every time, because you can't see my face every time on YouTube, come join me. My ID number is 10237596 5. That is my ID number. So I really love and appreciate each and every one of you that comes by. Oh, forever. Thank you so much, forever. I don't even know you're there. So I've had a wonderful conversation with everyone. I see you all on YouTube channel. Click on my subscribe page, and you can also subscribe to my page too on Live Me too. You can hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my fan page, and you catch me again having these conversations. And we're talking about Daniela podcast show is always about emotional things, and we talk about the truth, and we talk about social media at large, educational conversation, please. I know a lot of people will say I have different faces. Yes, I have different faces. My different reactions when I'm live on my podcast is different reaction when you see me on a normal streaming day. And it's a different me when you see me on an event, and also so I have different faces. So those of you out there, to my fans out there, the lovers of Daniela podcast show and the lovers of D_blunt reality. I love each and every one of you. Know that I cannot go far without you guys and your support and your constant care. And those that have been reaching me out in my DM, if you also need a personal consultation, feel free to reach out to me. My DMs are open to encourage you or talk to you about something. But know it that if you are actually in the position to know that I will not be supporting everything you say. If you're wrong, I need to be blunt to you. And if you can't take me being blunt to you, telling your faults to you and you admitting it, you know that consultation is not for you and you're not ready to fix yourself. So most people have experienced and they've triggered and they're angry about it. Be like, I'm so blunt. Yes, I am blunt when I want to tell you the truth. And you don't expect me to actually pamper you when you're wrong or anything. No, I will not do that. So I love each and every one of you. Stay safe and stay feel loved and catch me again to my YouTube channels. I love you guys so much. You can feel free to check on the replays. YouTube always save um every live stream you go. And on live me, you can click on the replay at every time. If you go to my replays, any of my replays, you see the days of the month. You're gonna see that is for the podcast show. So bye love, bye everyone. I'm coming back again to my normal streaming. So catch you guys again.